Are you talking to me, dude? Because if you're talking to me, we're going to be having a conversation. So see how it's at 1 hour 0? So just, you can't see that. That's fine. You can see it? No.
Final check. 1, 2.
1, 2, 3. And the camera's rolling?
Camera's rolling. Let's get
Baby, let's get a little clap in
Let's get
here.
the clap in.
Here we go. Ready? That's the one we'll use. That's a good one. Yeah, there it is.
We'll go with that
That'll
one.
line up the audio, you know?
No, I get it.
Okay.
I get the concept.
Yeah, it's a good bit too, though. All right. Okay. Guys, welcome back to Scumbagger Scoundrel. Here we go. We're having a good time. As you know, myself, your host, Isaac Towell, my co-host, my beautiful co-host, this beautiful woman here.
Good evening to you. I'm a man. Thank you, Isaac.
And what's your name?
Edward Sayers.
Baby. Hell yeah. And we got a very interesting guest on today. One of my good friends that we've known each other for, what, 5 years now? 4 years now?
Something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
Way
we
too
got.
long.
Yeah. I know. We still talk, too. Unbelievable. Mr. Robbie Woods, everybody.
Thank you.
How you doing, buddy? What's your deal? What do you do?
What's your deal? You know, I'm a. Do I look into the? I'm gonna look into the
Yeah,
camera.
look into the camera. Look wherever you want.
I
Doesn't
feel
matter.
like Ray Ferraro between the benches or something.
Oh, I hate that guy.
I'm a writer. That's how I make my money, and I'm also a comedian. That's how I lose all my money. So yeah.
Who are you writing for? Like, what are you freelance? Are you working with a specific company?
I do freelance work. If anybody's looking for, I don't know, want me to write you some porn or something, I'll do that. I'll do anything. But
You heard it here.
anything. Yeah. But I work for a company called Rough Maps. Just started today, in fact.
Oh, congratulations!
yeah.
Nice. That's pretty cool. That's pretty
Yeah.
cool. So what's their deal? What do you do there?
I edit and write pieces about travel. So
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Oh, is that because you just took a trip to Dublin? Obviously.
I did, yes.
Yeah. And was that one of the reasons why, or?
No, I mean it helps.
Yeah,
you know.
for sure. Cool. So what do they send you out to different places then to like?
I wish that's my dream is to be, but like realistically, I like edit other people's stuff, so like I have to like edit the work of people who get to travel around all the time and get paid
Yeah,
for
but
it.
you know what? Ground floor, right? Like you're just starting here, like. It's almost inevitable that you'll get there soon enough, right?
Sure.
Yeah. Cool, man. That's a really great gig. That's a lot of fun. Yeah. All right. Well, what do you think? You got some greasy ass stories for us, or what?
Let her rip, buddy.
Let her rip.
Okay, all right. So I actually texted my girlfriend and asked her to like list some of the greasy things that I've done.
You tell her. You tell her all about the greasy things.
I get drunk and I tell her everything.
Good for you.
I
Good for you.
don't know why she's still here either, but
Me neither.
so I've got a couple stories, and I don't know. You can decide which one's greasiest, I guess. But the first story, you have to pay close attention because there's a question at the end of it.
Are you listening? Pay close attention.
Don't change that dial.
Stay tuned, friends.
Then the question at the end of the story will be, do you think I'm a prostitute? Okay.
The answer's already yes, but okay.
Well, you hear the evidence first.
Okay, all right.
Oh.
Everybody deserves their day in court. Okay, so when I was in like grade 11, this girl who was kind of cute, I think she was in grade 9 at the time, she came up to me out of nowhere and was like, "Hey, I need a math tutor. Would you tutor me?" And I kind of knew her a little bit, and she was cute, and I know nothing about math. But I was like, yeah, absolutely. I will tutor you. And so I would go over to her house, after school, and we'd like go into the back room or into the basement. I would tutor her, and then I'd go upstairs, and her mom would leave me like $20 on the kitchen table, and I'd go on my merry way. And pretty quickly it became clear that the reason she asked me is because she wanted to fool around with me, and this was a great pretext. So I was like, all right, this is perfect.
Oh,
What do you mean, oh no?
What, those poor parents, they were paying you to fuck their kid? All right.
Oh,
okay,
I'm sorry. Is this the morality podcast that I?
Yes.
Anyway, I found a way to monetize the sex, Isaac.
All right.
So it was great. I was going over there and like getting my dick wet, and she wasn't getting any better at math. But and then I'd go upstairs and get the money and leave. So this was going great for a while, and then on Canada Day, she asked me if I wanted to come to watch the fireworks with her and her mom, which is a weird request. I don't know what her mom thought
For your
this
tutor.
was.
Yeah. So the mom's still under the impression that like, oh, my kid wants to invite her tutor out.
This is a horribly naive woman.
Okay. All right.
I think.
Okay.
And single parent. I think I'm making myself sound even worse here. anyway, so I was
really
like,
taking advantage.
well, yeah, when you put it that way.
I'll spend my last $20 on this tutor if she can just have a good shot at it.
It's so hard to be a single parent raising your kid all alone, but I will invest in this brilliant tutor who will teach my kid how to get through math
And
studies.
in these times.
You know what? Her grades actually did go up because
All
I
right.
think she was working harder at the math in order to justify what was going on. So
Oh.
Mom got her money's worth. I don't know what her problem is.
Mama got her money's worth and Daddy got his money's worth.
Everybody
Yeah,
wins.
Yeah, all right.
Anyway, so on Canada, I was like, well, we're kind of basically dating at this point, so yeah, I'll go to the fireworks with you. And we went and watched the fireworks, and afterwards her mom was like, I'm going to go for just a walk along the lake. And so we went back to the car, and we started fooling around in the back of her mom's car. So she was like, oh, she probably won't be back for like half an hour, 40 minutes. Wrong. She was like taking my pants off when we hear like a knocking on the window, and her mom has returned to the car after like 10 minutes. And so I was busted and she was busted. But then she drove me home. So that was a fucking awkward car ride. That was like the worst 10 minutes of my life. Anyway, so I couldn't tutor her anymore after that, except a couple months later, they brought me back to tutor her again. And so I kept doing it for another couple months after that. I think I got a raise. So,
Her math scores went down. She took a dive for you.
That
man.
might have been it, though. That might have been like what the parent was thinking, was being like, fuck, like, he was inside my kid, but he was. There was results. There was results. There's results coming from it.
Yeah.
Oh man.
so what do you think? Am I a prostitute?
Well, how old would you have been?
Grade 11, he said.
Yeah, 16, I guess.
You were
16.
probably more a child prostitute
Yeah.
if you really break it down.
Brilliant.
It's a little
Honestly,
worse.
the mother would be the scumbag bringing you back. No, hold on. Actually, when you got brought back from your timely firing, were you still doing it?
Of course, yeah.
And she like, okay.
She must have known. That's
Yeah.
why I think I'm a prostitute.
Yeah, no, she for sure knew, but she just didn't care anymore because clearly you were getting results.
My theory is that I think she realized that there were probably worse guys who could be banging her daughter.
Maybe.
Like, you look at me and you think this is a guy who has
Sure.
low sperm motility.
Yeah.
You're not getting any grandbabies out of me.
No. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. That might be part of it because you said she's a single mother.
Single mother.
Sounds
you
like
know.
she's probably had her issue with men in the past as well, so she knows that there's some pretty slimy dudes out there. And as far as you know, what this sounds like? It sounds like an episode of Shameless. Do you ever watch that show?
No.
Okay, I do. Kind of my guilty pleasure show. I know it's pretty fucking lame, but like there is a couple of good episodes, and there's one where the main kid, what's his fucking name, Lip, and he's like tutoring one of the neighborhood kids, and he ends up getting busted by the dad who she's under the table. Except they were in the kitchen the whole time, and she's sucking him off under the table, and he ends up getting busted doing that. And as you were telling me that, I was like, you could be a TV show, buddy. You could be a TV show, Robbie.
Could be played by William H. Macy.
You could. You absolutely could. You for sure could be played by William H. Macy.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I think, especially at that age, like here's the thing. Like here's my train of thought because every high school kid is pretty greasy. Like every high school kid does the dirty, and you know it's pretty gross. I would say name me one person that's not doing what you do in that situation. One guy that's not doing.
Yeah,
what you
you're
do in that
gonna
situation.
turn down money and pussy. No.
and exactly and a money and pussy of a girl that you're clearly find cute and are sexually attracted to. So it's like, buddy, that's the win-win. That's the
you're
ultimate
getting paid
prize.
to get laid. You know.
So whatever happened with this girl? You guys still keep in touch?
No.
Like, hey, you need any tutoring? Does your mom got money or what?
Did she get a diploma? Is she doing all right?
Yeah. How'd she turn out?
Well, she'll probably never see this, so I think I'm at liberty to say not great.
Oh, you ruined her life.
I don't think I
Jesus
ruined her
Christ.
life. I think that her life was ruined.
Scumbag.
Her mom went
scumbag.
broke, and then everything went to shit.
Yeah. I was like, I can't afford that tutor anymore. Sorry.
She's
honey.
charging like $200 an hour now.
You ever
My
need
daughter doesn't walk right.
you ever need a pimp, man? Just let me know, buddy. Let me know.
Yeah.
Talk to the parent. All right. I don't know. That's pretty greasy. That's kind
Okay.
of I respect it though.
Thank
I would
you.
respect. I would
Yeah,
say
you're a
scoundrel. I would do the
scoundrel, don't
exact same
worry.
thing. What do you think, Eddie? Scoundrel?
You're a scoundrel
Yeah.
still.
Would you do
Okay.
it?
I mean, fuck. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
mean,
Okay.
I would feel obligated to try and help with math, but if they hired me, you wouldn't want me to be a math tutor either.
Yeah.
So,
Oh God, no! You're awful with numbers. I'm just saying, like in this.
and I would have been
scenario.
so naive at the time if she were like, "Oh, you want to tutor me math?" I would have been like, "I'm so bad at math." You don't wanna
It
fucking
wouldn't
me
even
to be
gone
your
that far.
tutor."
You'd have been like, absolutely not. I can't do that to you.
I'll
I'd
request
ruin-
someone. I'll find someone for you.
Yeah,
Don't
I'll
worry.
find somebody way better at this. All right, all right.
Anyway.
What else do you got for me?
Okay. You know, it's a lot of them involve vomit and excessive drinking and shit and cum. So, you know, I guess
Buddy, that's right up my alley.
Here we go.
all right. Okay, so one time, this was when I was at York University. My buddy and I,
York U.
York U, sure, the people who have all my money. So one night, my buddy came over and we were going to like the campus pubs, and we at one pub we were talking to these two girls, and they were pretty cute, and they lived just off campus, and we all got really drunk, and they invited us back to their house, and we were like, all right, you know, one for you, one for me. Great. I was really, really drunk, but we managed to make it there. We're doing okay. And then we get into their kitchen, and the one girl's like, okay, we got to do shots of rum. Everybody do a shot of rum. And I was like, I can't fucking do a shot of rum. I don't do rum. Not anymore. I've had too many bad nights with the rum. But I was like, I can't look like a pussy, because if I say no rum, then that probably means I'm not going to get laid. And
No rum, no cum. That's what they say.
No rum. Young, dumb, and full of rum. And I didn't want to cost my friend sex because I was being a bitch. So I was like, fine, shot of rum. And then she pours out another one. And then she pours out another one. And it was one of those where like it gets halfway down your throat and you're like, no, it's already coming back up. So I very quickly excused myself and ran to the bathroom. And I didn't quite make it to the toilet, so I ended up barfing all over their bathroom wall.
Oh.
Like projectile?
Yeah, like it was like projectile onto the wall, and it was a lot. Like it was most of what I had drunk that night, I would say.
Yeah.
And like running down and like puddling and curdling on the bathroom floor.
Puke and rally.
And there was nothing I could do. Like there was no way to clean it up or make it look like it didn't happen. So I went out to the kitchen and I grabbed my buddy and took him aside. I was like, we gotta get the fuck out of here. We gotta get out of here right fucking now. He's like, what the fuck, what are you talking about? We're here, the girls. And I was like, no. We gotta fucking, don't ask me any fucking questions. We gotta go. Move it. And so we just split. And I just kind of left them with their
Huge mess of puke.
huge mess of puke in the bathroom. And we like ran across back to campus and we were like pissing in the street because we were so fucked up. And I never saw those girls again.
I'm sure they made sure of that. Yeah.
I want to apologize to them now. I'm sorry that you didn't get the chance to have sex with me.
Yeah. You really rocked your world.
You missed out.
Oh, man. What do you think their conversation was when they found that? Like when one of them went to go to the washroom? Like, what the fuck? Oh, man. How do you clean that up? Like what? I'm surprised. I don't know, man. See, like, if I was in that situation, I'm doing anything for the pussy. Like, I'm
Really?
cleaning that up somehow, or I'm blaming it on somebody else. Like,
You're gonna wash your teeth out and be like, "Who did this up here?"
Be like, yeah, that's what I 100% would have done. Walk in, fucking puke still on my chin, going, yo, somebody like puked on the wall in your washroom. I was doing. That's so funny you bring this up. I was doing mushrooms with my buddies a little while ago. It was like in Humber, and fucking my one buddy was like in the washroom and he was fucked up and he just had to get the mushroom pukes out and he started puking into his garbage can. I had no like paper bag or plastic bag, and he comes out like after just fucking mangled, going and dead serious, going, yo, who ruined my garbage can? Like just furious. We're like, dude, that was you. You puked in there. He's like, no, it wasn't. Who the fuck ruined my garbage can? We're like, man, no, you're just tripping, buddy. Like, don't try and pin that on us. That was you. I don't know, man. That's like, I mean, puking on a wall and dipping is kind of scummy, man. I'm not gonna lie, that is pretty gross to not even clean that up. Like, I don't know.
I just panicked. I didn't know what to do. I was.
How old are you in this situation? Is this like first year?
No. I'm like.
Oh, you're old enough to know better.
Well, I may be 19. In my defense.
Okay, so you're just legal. Eddie, what do you do in that situation? You unleash, like, we're talking, you
Okay.
unleash like the fucking most intense bile of your life upon. Is it a white wall?
Oh, no doubt.
Oh, that's staining.
And like, is it like a tile floor?
Yes,
Kind of thing?
I believe so.
Is it like the halfway up the wall tile, or
No.
is it just dead on?
No, it's like drywall on the
dry-
tile.
like
Pukey
this.
drywall. What were the food contents in there?
Mostly
man?
booze, I would assume.
Yeah,
Just
not really
booze?
any food, as I recall. Mostly booze.
That's not so bad to clean up, actually. That's not the worst. Like, if there's food in there, sometimes like that's what makes.
Yeah,
it
if it's your own.
up.
But if you walk into like somebody else, like we're talking about this on Bennett's podcast too, how you had to clean up Tony's fucking pineapple mess.
Yeah, God,
That's
damn
pretty
it.
gross. But like, if you so like let's switch the table. Say there's this like these two girls. I was gonna say beautiful girl, but that doesn't make sense if it's comparing it to you. So these cute, okay.
Don't hold back.
These ugly ass fucking chicks, right? And they come in, and they're like, and they're having you're giving them rum, you're having a good time, and they come and puke all over your walls, and they dip. Like, what do you do? Like, do you? How angry are you at that? Are you furious if the tables turn on you? Are you pissed?
Well, yeah, it's not okay to
right.
do it to me.
yeah,
Exactly.
It's something I do to others.
Yeah.
You know?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'd be
man.
pretty mad. But in the situation, I probably like if I didn't know them at all, was like I never have to see these people again. I'd probably fucking just run away too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
You're a scoundrel.
You're a scoundrel, I guess. Yeah.
But
no,
if it was like, also as like a future wannabe homeowner, it's like, oh god damn it, that drywall's never gonna look the same after those little fuckers.
especially when you leave it to crust. Like
Yeah.
if you leave it to sit there for a while and just mold up on that wall. I don't know. I guess you're a scoundrel. I totally get it, but like honestly, like see with my thing, my deal is like anything for pussy. Like I'm cleaning that up so hard. Like fuck it. I'm using all their toilet paper. Like you're gonna hear me flush about 20 times in the washroom. I don't even care. I'll make up some excuse. Like I'm cleaning that up as good as I can. There's a bathtub, I assume, or a shower in there. I'm stealing somebody's towel, maybe, like soaping it up a bit. Like I'm going ham on this thing.
I was too drunk. I was just in I was in a ride or die kind of drunk. I was like, I gotta go now or I gotta go home.
Yeah.
And I went home.
Yeah, that's fair. I've been that drunk too. That is a fair statement. I didn't realize that. Because I remember, I think it was semi-formal in grade 10 or 9 or something like that. And I tried being a hero, right? And I was hanging out with my buddy's house. And I had like a Mickey of vodka, Silent Sam, I think it was vodka.
God.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then greasy as shit too. We found a cooler, like we were walking around downtown Petrolia, the big downtown of Petrolia. We were walking around, we found a cooler of like old Carling beers behind like the bargain shop or something like that we just jacked. And then my buddy said like some whiskey. Anyways, we're back at my friend's house and we're hanging out with like his older brother. So I'm trying to act cool as shit. Within like a 30-minute span, I down my whole Mickey of vodka with just one can of Coke. Like that's the only mix I had. So it was like half and half. Hammered. I drank about 3 or 4 of those beers. It was like 45 minutes to a half hour. 3 or 4 of those Carling beers. And then I think I did like 6 or 7 shots of whiskey or rum or whatever it was that night. And I've never been so intoxicated in my life. Like we were walking down the street and I couldn't, like I had buddies like trying to hold me up. I went in, I was like, I stopped at my other friend's house. I was like, I gotta use the washroom. They're like, okay. I go there and I puked everywhere on the floor, like just all over the floor. And I remember trying to clean it up, but I couldn't because I was so drunk. And I feel like that might have been your situation too. And then I ended up sleeping in my own vomit down there. And like, I was like caked in it. It was so gross. I couldn't do anything about it. And obviously at that time, my parents were like super naive. I wasn't allowed to drink, so I couldn't let them know that I was drinking. I woke up the next day. My mom picked me up. I had fucking puke all up my pant leg. And she was like, I didn't even make it to the dance. That's how fucked up I got. And my mom was like, what happened there? And I was like, oh, some kid at the dance got all drunk and puked on my leg, Mom. She was like, oh, okay. My mom, the biggest sweetheart, just believed it. And we were like driving home. And I remember I for sure had alcohol poisoning. Because I remember explicitly having about a 4-day hangover that just didn't go away. And to this day, because of that night, I can't drink vodka. Like I can drink it, but every time I do a shot of vodka with somebody that like buys it for me or whatever, it's always like, even if I'm not drunk, I can handle my liquor pretty well. But as soon as vodka goes down, I feel it like immediately going, oh God, like oh, shit. Like it's like I gotta like close my eyes and. Anyways, I would say you're a scam. I don't know, man. I'm still kind of torn.
No. Say what you feel. If you
That's
think
a
I'm a
pretty
scumbag,
scummy. I don't know.
it is. It's just a shitty.
I think it's a scumbag thing, but I think I might have done the exact same thing.
Yeah.
It's like it's scumbag, but you got to acknowledge that you're the scumbag within as well, right? Like, I
and
would've
girls,
done it.
though the situation turned, they probably would have done the fucking same thing too.
Yeah,
You know what I
100%.
mean?
That's just what you do because nervous. Yeah, you just gotta get.
But the sad thing is they wouldn't even have to because, like, honestly, if you come to my house to have sex with me and you barf on my walls, I'm still going to have
fuck
sex
you.
with you.
Yeah.
Yikes.
You wouldn't? Really? That's an deal breaker?
No. I don't know, man. After the pukes in their mouth, I don't know.
Nobody says you had to kiss her.
Oh, I do. Daddy always gotta get his kid. I'm just kidding. Absolutely not.
You fucking hug prostitutes, don't
I
you,
hug,
Isaac?
of course, and I talk to them about my feelings. Anyways, we're coming up to the first half. That was pretty fun. We'll take a little break. We might throw in a clip of your stuff, or maybe at the end, and then we'll have the second half coming on right soon. All right.
Sounds good.
All right. We're back. Welcome back to part 2 of Scumbagger Scoundrel, Robbie edition. We got to talk about how you puke on people's walls and
You just bailed.
Allegedly.
and also being a grade 11 prostitute.
Scoundrel behavior.
Scoundrel behavior. Yeah, we still love him. Now, I believe you got some more disgusting bile for us now. Right?
I do. Which do you want first? More sex or drinking and driving?
Save drinking and driving.
Drinking
for
and
last.
driving. Yeah. I'd be. Oh, sorry for last. Okay. Yeah. More sex.
That's
More
a
sex.
good
More
finale.
sex. Okay. So, the summer after my first year in university, I went back home, which was Barrie at that point, where my
Barrie,
folks lived.
Ontario, represent.
Yeah, and so I was like, was seeing this girl who I knew from before, but she was still in high school. No, it's legit. It's not that creepy. I was 18. She was like 16.
I respect it.
That's not the scummy part. So, so one night I was gonna go to the movies with her. We were gonna just go see a movie, hang out, hopefully get laid. And so I went by in my mom's Grand Caravan, great car, to go pick her up. And I pull up to her house, and she's standing there with her fucking friend. And I was like, oh, for fuck's sake.
Nice.
Well, no, because I was like, okay, so we were gonna have a date, and I was gonna get laid, and now she's like, can my friend come to the movies too? And I was like, oh, fucking
No.
yeah, sure, let's all go see Knight Rider or whatever it is that was out at that time.
Sweet.
And so we went to the movies, and it was awful. No finger banging because her friend's there. And so afterwards, I was driving. We were heading back to her place. And they were like, hey, we don't really feel like going home. Do you want to just take the car and go hang out somewhere for a little while? I was like,
Yes, please.
yes, I do. I sure do. And so we pulled into the parking lot of an elementary school.
Oh, of course he did. Come on.
Well,
All right.
the high school was too far, Eddie.
Yeah. I had to save gas money here, okay?
Too many. Yeah.
But the children, man.
Think of the children.
The children. Anyway, so we pulled into the elementary school parking lot, and they were like, "Let's just hang out in the back of the van." I was like, yeah,
All three of you?
all three of us. So
You got invited to the back.
yeah, so we were just chilling in the back of the
VIP.
van, and the thing about the Grand Caravan, I'm just realizing I cannot let my mom see this now, is that it's very spacious, and you can put the seat all the way down, the back seat, so you can. It's like a king size bed.
Mm-hmm.
Prime fucking.
Yeah. And so, we got to playing Truth or Dare. And long story short, they both, we did some stuff with a couple of chicks, did
you fuck him or did you just finger
No,
him?
they both sucked my dick in an elementary school parking lot.
Oh, Robbie!
good.
We've had scumbags, we've had scoundrels, but we've never had fucking legends on the show. To all you first-year university kids, high school students, easy pickings, all right?
Make sure your mom gets a van.
Yeah, make sure you get a van. I don't know, man. I mean, they're a little young, I would say. But, I mean, when you're 18, 2 years, I mean, that's not like you're fresh out of high school yourself. So, that would be the only, potential scummy thing from that. Honestly, that sequence of events, I love it because you know damn well when that friend was like, can I come with you guys? She had that intention. They both had. They
must have
discussed
planned
this.
it. Yeah.
This was pre-discussed. They knew what was going on with that. They were like, we're gonna kiss this boy. We're gonna kiss this boy in his little pee-pee.
The same chick, the one who I was seeing, on another occasion, we were in Barrie. What you do, or what you used to do, is you hang out and drink and smoke weed in public parks because there's nowhere else to fucking go, and nothing else to
absolutely.
do. And so we were there one night, and there was a baseball diamond, and so she was like, "Where do you want me to suck your dick?" And I was like, "How about third base of the baseball diamond?" So I got to third base on third base.
Fucking poet. Let me tell you, that's brilliant. That's so funny.
She didn't want to go home though.
No,
but
she didn't want to go home. Well, that's honestly, if you're just getting head and there's nothing, they're not expecting you to reciprocate anything. Like, what are you? You're winning every front of this. That's so greasy. How many would you consider? Would you consider that a three-way? I would say that. I would consider oral sex is a three-way, right?
Are you asking me? Or
Yeah.
asking yeah.
How many three-ways have you had? Is that your only and first?
Yes.
Oh, still though, that's fantastic. That's one more than like 99% of the population. I
You
love
can
that.
say, your only three-way was with teenagers, though.
Yeah.
That's the rough part
Make
about
sure
it.
you bring that one up.
Rough
too.
to brag about.
I was a teenager too.
Like,
you know?
but in the eyes of the law, like if you would have got caught per se, and like just the news article the next day would have read like, adult man caught in elementary school parking lot
with two teenage girls.
No, they wouldn't say teenage. They would just say minors.
Yeah, with two minors.
Two minors.
Yeah. However, at that age, like that's still like 100%. Like within 4 years, it's 100% legal at
Well,
that age.
I didn't know this, and don't ask why I know this. The age of consent in Canada is 16.
Yeah.
Which is, when you think about it, pretty fucking gross. So, like, if you're
That's
35,
weird.
you can
Yeah.
fuck a 16-year-old. And there's
See,
no...
I always thought it was with parental permission, but then I found out later that that wasn't true. For some
Mom,
reason,
can I
yeah.
fuck grown men? Wow, all right.
How much money does he got?
That's definitely something someone made up to try and convince their friend to go to their girlfriend's mom with a letter of consent. Like, hey, all right, if I, move this thing forward with your daughter.
Just the initials there. and,
Dad comes out smacking the baseball bat. Warriors. Man, that is, I don't know, man. I'm not even angry at that. That's awesome.
You never had a three-way?
Oh, I've had a couple three.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, absolutely, but not like.
Mostly with chili.
Yeah, mostly with chili. Absolutely, I did have one double three-way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty fantastic.
What?
Yeah. It was pretty sweet. It was pretty sweet. We ended up high-fiving.
Oh,
Over.
Oh, come on. That's a cliche.
Yeah, but like
Horrible.
because we did like the rotation, like it was like we were subbing somebody in, you know what I mean? Like one was at one side, one was at the other side. We looked at each other like this, we're like, yeah. As we walked around with our erected penises around the body, we go and continue on with our business.
Jesus Christ, that is greasy.
Yeah. What do you
as
think,
fuck.
scumbag or scoundrel?
I don't even know, man.
Come on, man. She loved it. She loved it. We were giving her exactly what she wanted. Are
Did
you
the other
kidding
guy
me?
have a mustache too?
No,
Or
I
was-
wish. I didn't have a mustache back then. No, I wish. I wish I always had this mustache.
I always thought you were born with it.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's funny because Bennett told me, because I shaved my mustache there for a while, and Bennett told me that they didn't trust me. Like they're like, you're the only person that without a mustache I trust less. Like I'm like, I know.
That's
I was
true.
Like, that's so weird because like I think because mustaches are typically associated with pedophilia or whatever.
No,
right?
you
Like,
look
it's like-
really trustworthy with a
Yeah,
mustache.
with a mustache, but that's weird to me. Like
You almost look like you could be a cop. Doesn't
Yeah.
it look like you could be a cop?
100%. I look like a cop and a serial killer. Like I'm the serial killer and the cop that found said serial killer. Like I'm the mixture of both, kind of.
I think it's because it makes you look older. That's my theory.
Yeah, but older people aren't necessarily trustworthy.
I trust the elderly. You don't trust the elderly?
No, they fucked up our entire economy,
Okay.
Robbie.
Okay, true.
I can't be a homeowner because of them. We want to talk about scumbags.
Yeah, that's why.
That's what. Look, man. All right. We don't bring in truth into these chirps. All right. When we make fun of each other, we make sure there's nothing seated in truth, Robbie. Oh man.
Okay.
I don't know, man. Obviously, that's scoundrel. That's barely even scoundrel. That's just awesome. That's fantastic. At that age, especially, like if you're getting that kind of confidence at 18, hell yeah, that's sweet. That's sweet. And no drugs involved?
No drugs.
See, mine were all drug infested kind of.
Right, you drug people and then they have sex with you.
All right, that did sound way worse. I was referring to other.
Jesus
I was
Christ.
referring to cocaine. People are way more down for things when they're high. Is all I'm saying.
It's just still sounding horrible.
No, but everybody in one collaborate. Everybody's like, yeah, let's get do. And then you wake up the next day and you're like, oh my god, why was I so fucked up? Why did I do that thing? But at that moment in time when everybody's high like that, they're all like, hey, yeah, a bunch of meat holes, let's go.
Jesus.
Whereas like at that age, were you guys? You weren't even drunk. You were driving. You weren't even drinking.
I wasn't even
Were you
drinking.
stoned?
No,
Nothing, eh?
I was sober.
As a fucking. That in itself.
Well,
is
I know
just
they might have been
respect.
drinking. I wasn't.
I think you would have known if they were drinking.
Mm-hmm.
16 years old, you don't know how to handle your booze. If you're drinking, people know you're drinking.
How was Knight Rider?
Terrible.
Ghost Rider or Knight Rider?
I think it was Ghost Rider.
Oh
Knight
my
Rider
God.
Knight Rider was the show about the car that talks. Is it not?
Yeah.
Ghost Rider was
so.
the terrible film with Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage, the firehead biker.
Yeah, that was bad.
Yeah, that was really, really bad, actually. That was,
Yeah.
And then they went ahead and made a sequel to that movie,
Did
I
they?
believe. Yeah, obviously didn't see it.
And he's still broke somehow.
Is he?
Apparently.
I don't know. Are you just slandering his name like you did before? Because you do this sometimes. Sometimes you just make up things about celebrities. So
Well, dude, the Scott Stapp thing is true.
that's true. I looked it up. Did you hear about Scott
See that
Stapp?
sex tape?
You see that sex tape? Like singer from Creed?
No.
He didn't. Okay, so he was hanging out with Kid Rock. It was funny because I looked into it after he said that.
It's
So
kind of
Scott-
like your three-way. Not really at all, but like.
Yeah, not really. Scott Stapp, they're on tour with Kid Rock, and Kid Rock's hanging out in his trailer. Him and his fucking boys are getting a bunch of head from a bunch of groupies. And Scott Stapp just shows up with a camcorder and goes like, "Hey, can I hang out?" Kid Rock's like, "Okay, weirdo, sure." Like, whatever.
He said he felt bad for him.
Yeah. In the interview, he was like, "I felt bad for this fucking loser," basically. And so Scott Stapp sat down and got a bunch of head, and he was recording a bunch of it, and was like, somebody got a hold of it. Like, I don't know who leaked it. Somebody would. It wasn't Scott though. Somebody got a hold of it, and then Kid Rock basically paid a bunch of money for them not to release it. But yeah, so Scott Stapp was just this weird geeky fucking loser kid with a camcorder. Hey guys, can I get some head too?
With
Like,
arms wide open.
Yeah, with with mouths wide open.
Under the white guy.
Under my belt line.
I will come for you. I'll show you everything.
With mouths wide open.
Every time I almost fucking forget about Creed.
Yeah.
Someone brings it up. And
Dude,
now,
you can't forget about Creed. They're legends. Absolute legends. Hold me down.
I met. Speaking of Creed, basically, I met Theory of a Dead Man once.
How was
That's
that?
a different story. They were really nice, but I had no idea who they were. We were recording an ad at a radio station, and my buddy was with me, and we were in the green room waiting, and then these guys come in, and my buddy's like, "I'm pretty sure that's Theory of a Dead Man."
Yeah.
Oh, sick.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
Then
I love those random
Then
encounters.
they played a live set, and then the manager of the radio station made a joke that their song sounded like their last single, and everybody laughed. And I was like,
Oh, hey.
"You guys are getting mocked at local radio stations."
Yikes.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I love those random encounters though. Like I had like the other day I was playing shinny with my friends. We were playing shinny at Dufferin Grove, and the Born Ruffians were there hanging out and playing shinny with us. I had no idea who they fucking were either. It was Zach that pointed it out. He was like, "Yo, this is Born Ruffians." I was like, "I don't fucking know their shit." I was like, "They famous?" He's like, "In Canada, yeah." And I was like, "So not really," but I was like, "Cool, cool, man." Played if they are watching this though, great music, guys. I love your stuff.
Also, if Scott Staff's watching this with his legal team, everything we said was according to ultimateguitar.com.
Yeah.
We said it allegedly.
Allegedly,
so,
Kid Rock is the one you want to sue.
If Kid Rock's watching, bring me on tour, man.
Hey
I'd love to be
man,
your opening act.
big fan.
I fucking
big
love
fan.
your stuff. Bow with the bada bang bang diggity.
Yeah. You are a lyrical tyrant, my friend. Oh, he's the worst.
He's
too,
a
man.
cowboy. No, I'm
I
sticking
fucking-
up for Kid Rock.
I hate Kid Rock. I think he's so bad,
you
man.
fucking mustache having.
American badass, man.
Kid Rock's the kind of guy
he
who
is.
pees in jars, even though he's got like 10 bathrooms.
He's
in
got
his
piss
house.
jugs for sure.
I've had
First
piss
of all, if you
jugs,
have to call
guys.
yourself,
I've had plenty of piss
I
jugs.
know. On
I've
tour.
lived in my
but
car.
he
on
also
the road.
you lived in
You
your
gotta-
car. He's famous. He's rich, and he has RVs, and he still has
dude,
piss jugs.
He one time probably lived in his car. He was getting into fucking fights at Waffle House and going to jail and shit.
Look, man,
I fucking
I'm
love
just saying,
Kid
if you
Rock.
have to scream that you're an American badass, you're probably not an American badass. Like the real badasses don't have to remind the world that they're badasses.
Kid Rock for Senate. Remember that?
Could
Anyway.
you imagine?
Oh my
Kid Rock versus
God,
The Rock.
I want to move there just to vote.
Just to
for
watch.
him.
Honestly, with the whole Trump presidency, man, anything can happen in that country. Like anybody can run now. There's literally no limit. Anybody can be president. You hear that, kids? Don't stop following your dreams.
You hear that, Kid Rock? You got my support, man.
You
I
got my
really
support.
want you to take it home for me.
I really want you to. Nothing. All right, what else you got for us? You're drinking and driving. Drinking and driving.
I
Robbie?
wasn't drinking and driving. I got to be really clear. I'm not the scumbag in this story. This is to make other people look bad. So, one time I was back home in Barrie with a couple of friends, and we just went to a bar. We were just having some drinks, chilling and reminiscing.
Yeah.
And the guy who was driving, and this is important, he literally had one beer.
Okay.
So me and my other buddy and him, we get in the car, we drive, like, hey, we're close to our old high school. We'll drive to our old high school. We'll chill out there,
Good, yeah.
smoke some weed,
Smart idea.
whatever. And so we pull in, and they both got a piss, so they get out and they're like pissing in the high school parking lot.
Yeah.
And immediately flashing lights come like flying down. These two fucking idiots. How's it going, guys? They got their dicks out and they're fucking pissing in the high school parking lot. And the cop comes out and they're trying to like cut off their piss, trying to shake it loose. And cops say, what's going on, boys? And immediately my one buddy who's driving starts telling lies, which is not what you want to do. He's like, my buddy here, he points to me. He's like, he lives in Bradford. We're just driving him home, and we had to stop for a pee. He's like, fucking, he better not ask where I live, because I'm like on my phone trying to like look up streets in Bradford where I can say that I live. Yeah. And he's like, okay, well, I'm gonna give you guys a breathalyzer. So he gives my buddy who's driving a breathalyzer, and we figure it's all fine. He only had one beer. What more concerning to us is the fact that we are all, each of us, individually holding drugs. So the cop comes back and he's like, okay, so I got good news and bad news. The good news is your buddy didn't blow over. But the bad news is he blew in the gray zone. And we're like, what the fuck does that mean? There's no gray zone with drinking and driving, is there? Am I crazy?
I don't know. I guess there is.
I don't think there is. I think it's a number, and if you're over it, you're drinking and driving, and if you're under it, you're okay. But he was like, he blew in the gray zone. So one of you guys is gonna have to drive home. But we're both drunk and high, so we're like.
But you guys didn't blow over?
Well, he was like, I'm gonna give you both a breathalyzer to make sure you're okay. And so my buddy, somehow he had more drinks than the other guy, but he blew under. I blew 0, even though I had been.
Yeah.
I guess my buddy just doesn't process alcohol very well.
Well, sometimes breathalyzers just don't work very well too.
Maybe.
Yeah.
And so thankfully, because I was, we were both fucking stoned. Neither of us should be driving. My other buddy agreed to drive because I was like, I absolutely cannot drive. And just before the cop pulled away, he looked at my buddy who was driving now, the other guy, not the original driver who blew over. And he shines a light in his eyes, like, your eyes are looking pretty red, eh? And my buddy was like, I just had a really long day. And the cop sort of pauses for a second. He's like, yeah, I hear you. All right. You boys get home safe now. Have fun on your way to Bradford, eh? Just make sure you don't speed. And he fucking takes off. And we're all just like, oh, my God. Yeah. That's just so fucking close. I think he let us go because, he must have. With the red eyes thing, I was like... we're stoned and drunk, but I always say they shouldn't call it the gray zone. They should call it the white zone, because if we'd been black, we would have gone to fucking jail.
100%. You would have never gotten away with it. There's no way. Absolutely not.
There's no such thing as a gray zone for drinking and driving.
That's so crazy. Well, but it's funny, though, you do say that, because I remember a long time ago we were going to like an elementary in high school. Do you remember how our dances got so bad for kids getting busted drunk that they ended up moving them to Thursday nights instead of Friday nights so they'd have to go to school in the morning. And then they started having random breathalyzers for like every 6th kid or something like that. So me and my buddy went in after drinking before one of the dances in high school, and he got breathalyzed. And I know for a fact this guy was plastered. Like, I literally witnessed him hammer a bunch of drinks, and he didn't blow over, and they let him through, and it was okay. Everything was copacetic. And I was like, what? That doesn't make any sense. He should have blown way over. Like, even if his body, gets rid of alcohol or whatever, tolerates it very well, it doesn't matter. There was so much booze on that guy's breath.
Sometimes they don't work.
Yeah. Sometimes I think they just genuinely don't work. Like, I assume maybe they've improved on that front now. I don't know, but I remember all of us being like, our hearts stopping and being like, well, he's done. Like, he's done. You're getting suspended. This sucks. Like, hopefully they don't come after the rest of the crew now. Like, everything's okay. But we breathe, like, all right. They just moved him along, and we were all like, what? Because I remember that day specifically because we were counting kids. Like, we'd count somebody that got breathalyzed. We go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. And then he went into the line, but they ended up mixing up the order, and they took him at like 5th or 4th or something like that. And we were like, oh shit, he wasn't supposed to be breathalyzed, and then they got fucked up. But everything ended up being okay.
You reminded me of another close call we had in Barrie. So again, I was saying how everybody in Barrie used to just party in parks. Everybody I know, anyway. Yeah. And so one night we were...
Keep on going.
We were in like grade 10 or 11. We were drinking and smoking dope in the park. And all of a sudden, this cop car pulls up into the parking lot. The cop gets out. He starts running across the field toward us. And we're like, okay, well, this is it. We're done. We're gonna be grounded forever. Our parents are gonna find out, and we're gonna get in real trouble here.
Yeah.
But the cop comes up to us and he goes, "Hey guys, have you seen a naked guy running down the middle of the street?" We were like, "No." He's like, God damn it. Okay, well, if you see anything, call it in, okay? And he runs back to his fucking car and off he goes. And we're like, that's our freebie. We
Saved by the streaker, man.
saved by the streaker.
Yeah. We should start our own show, Saved by the Streaker. But be it like Saved by the Bell.
Yeah, you should call my agent about that.
I will. Get him on the horn right now. I'll call him right now. Yeah, man, it's not like, it's crazy just being white and the stupid shit you can get away with. Like, we all used to bitch about how unfair the cops were to us, but honestly, they weren't that bad to us. Nah. Like, I did have a buddy that did get the shit kicked out of him for a cop. He was a mouthy little piece of shit. However, that never justifies beating up a fucking teenager as a full-grown adult man who was clearly trained in this type of stuff. That was like the only like encounter. In fact, it's funny. It showed up on my Facebook memory today that I shared it years ago, like a couple years ago, and his face is just busted, like big purple, like black eye, like his whole face is mangled. Yeah, that was fucking crazy. Like, that was like the only real police brutality I ever saw, especially on a white kid.
Where was that?
That was that would have been in Sarnia, because he was living in Sarnia at that time. Like, I wasn't with him when it happened, so I only had, whatever his information was. I believe that a cop beat the fuck out of him, but I also believe that he was probably being a little mouthpiece, for sure. But that still, to me, is not justification. Teenagers are gonna be stupid. As an adult, like, you have to just be better. You have to be better. You have to just be more and understand that, like, they're a teenager, they're a stupid kid, they're gonna say and do stupid shit. As an adult, especially as a professional adult, you can't lower yourself to that kind of standard, So that was pretty fucked up. But other than that, like, our buddy's dad used to be a cop, and he would sometimes, like, tell us, like, because there was a time, I don't think they do it anymore, but there was a time where there was a quota for tickets and what you'd have to give out. And his dad used to tell him, and then he would tell us what they were looking for. Like, to be like, hey, man, like, this time of month, they're busting down on fucking seatbelt tickets, or they're busting down on speeding, or whatever it is. They'd be like, just look out. Like, just look out for that. And his dad would tell him to tell all of his friends. Shit. Yeah, so that was, like, pretty dope. I was like, okay. And he even pulled me over one time without my seatbelt on, and he looked down and saw who I was, and I was like, oh, fuck, it's, Scotty's friend, whatever. Be like, hey, man, like... just wear your seatbelt next time, okay? And I was like, okay, sir. I even lied to him. He was like, why isn't your seatbelt on? And I was like, oh, it was on. I just unclicked it. You pulled me over. Like, why would I ever do that? He was like, he rolled his eyes like, look, man, just wear it next time, okay? And I was like, okay, sir. And it was like, that was it. It's crazy, man.
You have the intel.
We had the intel. We did have the intel for a while. Pretty funny.
Do you guys have time for one more greasy story?
100%. Throw it on me.
We've got it.
Okay. So, again, when I was at York, one of my best friends from high school was at Humber
This
North.
is a good promo for York, I think.
Yeah, go to York and develop alcoholism.
Yeah, we're going to tag them in the next post.
They'll go on strike for like a year.
Yeah, they did.
You have to reset your whole fucking life.
Yeah.
It'll only cost you $80,000.
That's it? What a bargain.
What a bargain. Anyway, so when I was at York, one of my best friends from high school was at Humber North, which isn't that far away. So every Thursday night, I would bus over there, and we would get just completely shit-faced because I didn't really usually have class on Friday morning. And so one time, I think, no, it wasn't his birthday. But anyway, I went over there, and I got shit-faced, and I passed out in, like, their common room where you're not supposed to be. Yeah. So in the morning, I wake up, and I'm super fucking hungover, and there's, like, this RA is, like, banging on the door, and it's like, you can't sleep in the common area, and like, you're sleeping on, like, a concrete floor. You got to get the fuck out of here. So I left, and I had my little suitcase, and I went to get on the bus, and I was on there for about 5 minutes, and, like, it's, like, 8:30 in the morning. There's, like, all these kids going to school, and, like, old people going to work, and then there's me who's, like, I'm fucking ill, and I realized, oh shit, I'm on the wrong bus. I'm on my way into Mississauga. Oh. And then I'm like, fuck, I gotta puke.
Oh no.
So I had to puke into my suitcase, into my empty briefcase. There's like fucking just kids everywhere, nice old ladies, people on their way to work. I'm right at the front of the bus too, so everybody gets a good look at it. Yeah. Just heaving into this briefcase. And then the bus driver comes and he's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm just like, "Yeah,
a little drunk, sir."
but I'm on the wrong bus. Can you tell me how to get where I'm? And he was really good about it. He like got me off and he told me where to go.
You wouldn't have been his first rodeo, I'm sure. Being a TTC driver, you would have come across a few interesting cases, especially going out to Mississauga.
No doubt. But I don't know. I feel like it was a particular low point in my life, vomiting on the TTC at 8:30 in the morning in front of a bunch of kids. I just felt so low.
Yeah, I think like the most of these stories that you tell me, like it's like I can't even call you like a scumbag or scoundrel. It's just like just get this boy some help. Just like, somebody give him a number.
I know
call.
your limit, you know.
Know your limit. Drink within it. I'm better now.
Yeah,
I just want to say that.
Yeah.
I know I am drinking right now, but I am.
Isaac, get some more beers in this guy.
Yeah. I want to see you puke.
Oh, yeah, our second puker.
Oh man, that's so fucking gross, man. It's just like, but every time it's like you just puking, too drunk, can't say no to your own want or desire. Going, oh fuck, I'm a mess. But I don't know, like it's also hard for me to throw any sort of like I'm not judging you really, but like any sort of real judgment because I've been that exact same gross person. Like, did I ever tell you about the time I got a concussion because I was way too drunk?
No.
Like I was like, so me and my buddies got fucking hammered. We were down and we were cutting through a shortcut to get back to his apartment, and it was like in an elementary school area, and there was like a fence and then a bunch of parked buses. So we were like, so there was like one bus. A bunch of them lined up, but there was like one bus here we were climbing up onto over the fence to like climb up onto the roof and then get down. And there's an empty space and then another bus. So anyways, I'm on top of the roof of the bus. I climb up the fence successfully. I get onto the roof of the bus and I'm just fucking plastered, like just a mess, like kind of wobbling. And I'm helping another friend up. I shouldn't have been the one helping. I couldn't even help myself. And I was like helping my friend up, and I started feeling myself going off the top of the bus, and I was like, oh shit. And I look over and I see the other bus beside me, but there's still that empty lot. And I look over and I'm like, fuck. So I just completely put all my faith into me catching that other bus and stopping me from falling. But I missed it by about 8 feet. I just like hammer onto the ground, and I fucking went ass back head. Oh shit. And it was the fucking worst. I've never hit my head so hard in my life. Like off the top of a bus, just like bam, bam, bam. And I remember we were watching The Jerk or something like that the next day in class. Like in Andrew's class, and I was looking at the screen, and I was like, I couldn't even watch it. My eyes were just like,
oh yeah, I kind of remember that. Holy shit.
Yeah, that was my school bus incident. Fucking just like a mess, too drunk, doesn't know how to drink within his limits.
Do you remember when we met up randomly that one night, and you drank all that dude's, or we all drank that guy's beer at his party, and he freaked out on us? You were like running away from a fight, and I was with 2 buddies from Petrolia, and we ended up at...
Oh, where was this? Oh, was this in Petrolia?
Yeah.
Oh, was it?
We ended up at that band's house.
Yeah, the guy from Hello Bella.
Oh, I was trying not to say names. I don't want him to...
I mean, the guy from... just bleep it out. Who cares?
Hello Bella, hello Bella, hello Bella.
Yeah, we'll bleep that out as well. Yeah, I remember that. 100%.
The guy from Creed.
Yeah, Scott Sapp. Yeah, we drank all of his beers?
Yeah, because the drummer from Hello Bella was like, oh, here's some... He invited us in, right?
Yeah, he invited us in. It was like, help yourself or some shit like that.
I was playing with those guys like a week before, and we were hanging out and talking, and then he invited us in. Yeah. And so we drank all this dude's beers, and it was like a housewarming party for like a guy he just bought in this house. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, this huge fucking tall ginger dude walks in, and he's like, who drank all my fucking beers? And he's looking at the 4 like fresh face, like we were probably like 19 or something like that.
If that, I don't even remember if that was that. We might have still been in high school. I can't remember.
I can't rember either. But we all kind of sit there for a second, and eventually, I think you were like, we did.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
But then he ignores Isaac and looks at me, the scrawniest, smallest dude in the room, and he was like, has anyone ever held you up against a wall by your neck before? And then Isaac goes, I have. And then,
I'm just having as much fun as I can in this situation.
He stares at Isaac, and he's like, you, get out, pointing to the 3 of us. And we're all like, what do we do? And you just said to go. Yeah. And then I didn't know what happened to you.
Me neither. I mean, I barely remember the story. Like, as you're saying, and I'm getting fuzzy little, like, memories, like, that peeking back, and I kind of remember this huge-ass ginger dude. But, like, I don't remember, like, what happened, where I went. Like, that was, like, I don't know. I probably would have... sometimes I just went out, like after a party like that, went out to Sarnia and partied more with other people.
I do remember you walking up though, and like there was a big commotion at the Krabby Joe's, and you were like, "I was with you guys. I was with you guys."
Yeah. And that was when, yeah. And that was when I pinned what's his name up against the door of the Krabby Joe's, if I remember correctly, because he and I had just been in a fight recently, and I guess I hadn't let go of my issues yet. Yeah. Oh man, what a night that was, dude. My whole life is just kind of a blur at this point, you know. Like
your whole life is one great night. I think.
Yeah, one great night. I have so many times where I'll like bring up stories, and be like, "Oh man, remember that time?" And then it'll be like, "No man, that was like those two things happened 2 years apart." Like I'll be like, "Oh
no,
my
honestly,
man.
I have the same fucking thing. My memory is like one of my best friends. He's got a great memory. He'll be like, "Oh yes, that was January 4th, 2007." I'm
Why
like,
do you remember that?
I don't even remember what decade that was. Like, I was off my tits for a good 10 years there.
Yeah, the good old days.
Yeah.
Oh man, what a time. Well, I don't know. That seems like a good spot to fucking close her off, eh? Unless you got anything else for me.
I think I'm
You're
good.
good. You're pretty greasy. You're a pretty greasy fella.
Thank
but
you.
You know that's
You're a scoundrel, though.
You're a scoundrel.
You're
not a
scumbag,
scumbag.
Don't worry about
man.
it.
You're, dude, having a 308-18. Let me tell you, Daddy's jealous. All right.
Minors.
Yeah. Keep saying that keyword. We're gonna end up getting you on a list, motherfucker.
Yeah, one day this is gonna come back to fucking haunt me, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm gonna actually make it big, and then this is gonna bring me the fuck down.
No, it won't, because I'll use this, and you'll have to pay me off. I'm gonna blackmail you with this.
Whatever happens, I find what he said reprehensible. I'm a good citizen. Don't worry.
All right, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you, Robbie, for coming in, buddy. It was a good time. Always pleasure to have you on.
Thanks for having me, boys.
Tune in next time and check out his fucking work. Stand up, his writing. It's all fucking gravy, baby. Do you have any plug, like for your Instagram, Facebook, anything like that you want to plug?
I have a plug for a monthly show that I do at Comedy Bar.
Yeah.
It's called Pay What You Can't. It's 9:30 the first Tuesday of every month, and I do that with our good buddy Chili Davidson.
Yeah.
So come down and check
Come
it
on
out
It's
if
a
you're in
great show.
Toronto.
Great show. Yeah. All right. Thank you.
Anybody follow the case of that police officer who killed Sammy Yatim that happened a couple months ago? I don't know if I clap, but yeah. I don't want to stifle your creativity, but if you don't know what happened, is this police officer, right? He shot this kid, Sammy Yatim, 9 times, killed him. They tried him for murder, and then magically he got convicted of attempted murder. I'm not a lawyer, but there's only 2 guys who can shoot you 9 times and just be attempted murderers, and that's Wile E. Coyote and whoever tried to kill 50 Cent. That's it. Yeah, it's not even a list. It's just 2 guys, both of whom are fucking imaginary, by the way. How can it be murder if the guy dies? That's like... Okay, maybe you've been in this situation. That's like saying, you know when you're about to make sweet, tender love to a lady? And you go, no, one side or the other. You've been on one or the other, right? Maybe no, I don't know. Pick one. You go to put it in, but one of you moves the wrong way and you accidentally go in the outdoor. Seek the 8 ball. You take the dirt road less traveled by. You put it in her butt, right? As the kids would say. But that's not attempted sodomy. And it's definitely not accidental sodomy if you do it 9 times. Okay? 1 dick in the ass, 2 dicks in the ass, we can write that off. That's a miscalculation. 9 dicks in the ass? 9 dicks in the ass means you knew what you were starting and you meant to goddamn finish it. And that's how murder works, folks. If there's pieces of some girl's breakfast on my cock right now, then Sammy Yatim was murdered. The prosecution rests. If it smells like shit, you can't acquit. Scrambled eggs, by the way, if you were wondering.